the Redcliffe side, Benson at fullback. The wingers are at Toy and backs. The centres are Brown and Steve Cherry. The halves are Bleakley and Part. Lock forward is Webb. Second row is Fullerton and Ty, the captain. In the front row, Kajewski, Trudgett and Cam Cherry making his A-grade debut, the brother of Steve. The coach is Arthur Beetson. The brothers team, fullback is Brake. Wingers are Davidson and Weir. The centres McElwain and Grogan. The halves Lehman and Smith, who's captain. Lock forward Casey. Second row is Weir and Walker. In the front row, Kellaway, Bailey and Hortz. And the coach, of course, is Wayne Bennett.
Terry Webb is a key man for Redcliffe, and while Redcliffe do rely on the strength in running and tackling, it is Webb that gives them direction. With his season in France during the Australian summer, he has grown in confidence and is prepared to now try things, and he gives Redcliffe that necessary variation. Brothers have a big pack, but it's the elusive young centre Shane McElwain who is one of their brilliant match-winning backs. He's very fast and light on his feet, and it's possibly could be seen in a better light, Shane McElwain, if he had a big, strong centre partner alongside him, putting him through some gaps. I expect the Redcliffe power in this match to suppress the Brethren flair.
So it's Brothers kicking off, and a bit of a trick kick-off with Trevor Bailey kicking to the backs on the open side. In fact, it does go to backs. I think it was over on the far side. Steve Backs it was taking the ball. And that's Dave Brown. Both these sides very keyed up in the dressing room. It's obviously a crunch match for Brothers. Redcliffe, on the other hand, we haven't seen them here at Lang Park since May the 23rd. It's hard to assess their form, but obviously looking at their record, they've had 5 wins straight, and they're really keyed up for this game. That's Steve Cherry. His brother Cam is making his A-grade debut today by Peter Lehman. And away goes Steve Bleakley. He's found a gap up the centre. He's got loads of pace, this little 5'8". Take the tap through Trudgett. It goes to Webb. Very clever ball player is Terry Webb after that stint in France. Steve Backs kicking for goal, a relatively simple shot for him. He's scored 122 points this season so far from 4 tries and 55 goals, and his success record 62%. But there's no mistake, and Redcliffe draw first blood. They lead 2-0.
Frustrating for a hooker.
15 metres from halfway. Smith, Lehman, Gary Walker. Strong tackle, Steve Cherry. Probably one of the best defensive centres in Queensland. Part has Webb with him. Webb's found a gap in the centre, and he's broken away. Here's the first try coming up for sure. The first pass goes out to Steve Cherry, and Cherry's in.
Great stuff there from Redcliffe, and once again we see players running from dummy half, and Brothers have been caught out a number of times. Here it is, little Colin Part seizes the opportunity after a good backline movement from Redcliffe from the base of the scrum, and Colin Part runs from dummy half, still got plenty of time to offload to Terry Webb, who runs into the gap beautifully, slips between 3 grasping hands of Brothers defenders. Away he goes, knows the support's coming up, had his choice, one goes in. There goes young Benson on the inside, Cherry on the outside. That was good enough, and away goes Cherry. Just got enough pace to get away from John Weir, and he places the ball around about 10 metres in from the touchline. Let's have a look at it from head on. Once again, Brothers allowing the dummy half to run, as I said. Part pops the ball out after he had heaps of time to offload the ball after slipping. Great work there from Terry Webb. Had everything going for him, plus a beautiful fend right at the last. Has a look around in complete control, Terry Webb. Greg Brake had to take him. Cherry in perfect position, striding out. Later a Toy on his right-hand side. Doesn't need him, and John Weir just can't quite get to him. Great work from Steve Cherry.
Hortz. Kellaway. Kellaway's got support in Bailey, and Bailey will score. He's lost it. Right on the line.
See, that was great work from Brothers there. The 2 big front rowers went together, shoulder to shoulder, and Hortz, he's a very capable player at slipping the ball. There's Bailey just landing on his back, cut from beneath him by Wally Fulton-Smith, and then look at it again, and just watch how close together the 2 Brothers front rowers are, shoulder to shoulder. Little short pass, away goes Kellaway. Kellaway does his best to set up Bailey, and Bailey at his beautiful work from Bailey, but what a great tackle there from Fulton-Smith. Mr. Greg Smith's father to put the ball in because he happened to be acting touch judge at the time. I think it'll be a bit too much.
Here's the first. Oh, it's not the first.
I think he scored that, Peter. And Terry Webb is irate. I think he got that ball down. That'll be great to see again. Redfern not in good position at all to see that one. Let's have a look at it. Trudgett just fades a little bit from the dummy half. Webb comes across, cuts straight back in. Let's see if he gets the ball on the ground. He certainly doesn't initially. There it is. That's a try. Redfern right behind the attacking player.
Smith A long pass. Casey standing out wide, gives it to McElwain. Grogan's got room to move and plenty of pace. Outside him is John Weir. That pass is flat, but it's okay. He's beaten one cover defender. He's got two more to beat. Benson knocks him. Park gets hold of the leg, and magnificent play by John Weir.
He was far too deep, and he really allowed that to occur. Wait,
Park finds the gap and steps brilliantly around Greg Smith's tackle, but Smith comes again tenaciously. Final last year. It was a surprise selection. He played his heart out. 5 tackles gone, a shot for field goal, and that's good. George Trudgett adds the 1 point with a neat little drop goal. Quarter line. Davidson, McElwain. Gets his pass away nicely to Brian Weir. He's wrong-footed Cam Cherry, and he's got a huge gap there. Going for the line and pulled down only 2 metres out. Almost an unintentional dummy, really. Consecutive footballer. 5 tackles gone. Here's Webb. Little chip this time. Bit of variety. And Colin Park gets a beautiful bounce. Couldn't get the pass away, but what a lovely piece of football. A little bit disjointed with a couple of key players out. Grant Glasby, Paul Beecham, they're both out of the side, but there's Lehman going through a gap up to the halfway line. He's found Walker in support, and there's Bailey. Bailey caught by Fullerton and Smith.
Great stuff, brothers. Just the start they wanted. Redcliffe a little bit slow, persistent as Redcliffe.
So in this back line, Brown onto Cherry. Cherry split them with strength and speed. Looking for a runner on the inside. He's found Bleakley, but Bleakley cut down by Bly Davidson's covering tackle. Only a couple of metres out from the line. Steve Cherry, Part, Benson. He's made the half break. Held by the jersey. Back to Colin Part, then Cam Cherry takes them up the centre, and over he goes. What a thrill for the youngster. Cam Cherry in his first match in A grade at 20 years of age. Scores an important try for the Dolphins, and they go to a lead of 11-0.
Great work here from Redcliffe by keeping the ball alive. Firstly, they bring it onto this left-hand side after a great run by his brother Steve to get them into that position. And there's Benson doing his best to get away. Good tackle there by Ports, really, to get a hold of him. He fires the ball back inside. Colin Part does it beautifully. Cherry into the gap, and he's got enough strength and power to power his way through a couple of tackles and just reaches out for a great front rower's effort by Cherry. Let's see it again. The ball goes out here on the left-hand side. Redcliffe clear the ball pretty well from the ruck, and Benson thinks he's got enough pace to get away from Horse. He hasn't quite got it because Horse just gets a hold of his jersey. Then he fires the ball back inside, keeping the ball alive. There's Colin Part, just takes 1 step, draws in Kellaway, and then Cherry had a lot of work to do through Bailey, and Grogan couldn't hold him either, and over goes Cam Cherry for his first try of the season.
Whilst you were looking at that, the referee had a little word to Bly Davidson and Steve Bleakley over some incident that must have happened behind the play. Low tackle made by Walker. Trudgett. Part. Beautiful half break. Trudgett. And Benson over for the try. What a Bleakley it is.
Magnificent try from Redcliffe. Did everything right. Yes, Bleakley going in, and great work here from Redcliffe. Just kept pounding away. Brothers not really in a position to do much about it. Nice work from Trudgett. Sides it up nicely. Colin Part realised he couldn't go any further. Cuts back in, out. Fired the pass up. It was the 6th tackle. It was worth a chance. Trudgett backs up again, and over the top goes Bleakley for a fine try from the little fellow. Redcliffe right on top now. Brothers' defence just not able to handle it. And here's Trudgett skipping away from the dummy half. Sets up Part nicely. Part realises he can't go through or around Kellaway. Cuts to the side. Pops the pass up beautifully. Trudgett in good position. He realises he can't quite make it. Fires it up to Bleakley, and he goes in for his 7th try of the season.
There's the kick, no mistake about that, and an almost insurmountable lead now for Redcliffe. They lead by 16 points to 0. Think back a couple of weeks ago, Wynnum desperately unlucky not to beat Brothers, and there's Noel Russell making a bust.
Should have looked for Trevor Bailey.
He's got 4 minutes left in the match, and still no points scored, but Kellaway going like a train. He's never given up trying. Big John Weir, he could go over from this position, but is pushed back again. Cam Cherry in there again, and Fullerton Smith. 2 of the hardest tries in the pack. Out to Smith. The dive tackle made the ball go loose. It was Steve Bleakley who came in and knocked over Greg Smith, and that caused the ball to go back to Redcliffe. That's Tony Murphy making his A-grade debut on Lang Park.